All right, we are back, and we are here at the ETC 2023 at USC at the HETMA booth. Yes, HETMA has a booth.
That's right.
No, that's second conference in a row. InfoCommon now here, and we have the one and only Adeline Tatum with us. Adeline, please tell people who you are, what you do.
Hi, everyone. I am Dr. Adeline Tatum.
Doctor.
And I am the faculty support analyst here at USC for the learning environment.
And what does that mean?
Basically, I am the person that performed the orientation trainings for our learning spaces for faculty. And I also offer support and training for our student workers.
Awesome. And you've always been such an important part of my team, which I'm a trader. I'm out. I'm gone. I just get to enjoy the conference. I don't have to worry about it. But USC is the host conference. So tell me, what are you thinking so far? I mean, how's it going?
Personally, I am enjoying the conference. It's my first ETC conference, and there is a lot of networking and learning happening in this space. As an instructional designer, my profession, outside of being a learning and development expert, I am seeing the importance of instructional designers on a different level. Therefore, like networking and just developing my own personal skills, I see as an opportunity here in this. Outside of that, and as the host school, of course, I'm reflecting and seeing things in area where, as the team and hosting, that, as we know, we could all do better. So those are thoughts that's going through my head. Like, what could we have done to make this conference so much more better?
But it doesn't need to be better. It's perfect. You did a great job with this. It is fantastic. And congratulations to you and all you do. And you're the boots on the ground type of person. You like to be in it. You like to be active. And so I can see all your work has totally paid off. So congratulations. So with that, what are you learning? What are your takeaways? What are you learning this week? What are you personally coming away with?
I am personally coming away with the fact that we're always learning something. In the AV and IT industry, there's always something to learn. And for me, it's just a lot. So I'm processing it. But my main takeaway is just the value of having people like yourself that is able to promote others and open the door for others, that we are able to establish this professional development and develop ourselves so we could share it within our department.
Yeah.
So for me, that's awareness. Bringing about awareness is a big thing.
Yeah, I love that. Awareness. That's good, because you're right. I mean, I think a lot of in the technology world, especially in our support, being aware of who's really being impacted. Like, to me, I've always said the technology choices are easy, right? That actually, what you put in, whatever, that's easy. What's difficult, hey, and we are saying goodbye to Jen Weaver and Chris Netto. But being aware of how our choices impact our customers, how they're impacting the faculty, which in turn impacts the students, is and I love that. And I love that that's what you want your takeaway to be. I love it. So let's get down to the important stuff. How much do you miss me?
I miss you a lot, Joe. A lot.
That was just a joke question.
Just giving the real side of Adeline. You know, we've been through a lot, you and I, and have grown so much from Joe. I've learned so much from Joe that I just publicly want to say thank you, like from the bottom of my heart. And I also want to say I'm happy for you. I personally feel like your chapter at USC had concluded. You did everything you could do within our department. We established our 500 plus classrooms to be at a top level, you know, fully Zoom campus, restaurant systems. Then you developed and brought together your vision of our digital creative lab, which is amazing, with eSport, podcast, capture room. I personally feel like, again, using your talent and your vision at another university within California. You're still in California.
I know. Still get to hit traffic.
Thank you, to make learning and development for our students or faculty better, I love it. I really love it. A lot of people would say you're a traitor. I don't see it as that. I see you as allowing for other university to evolve with AV.
Oh, I love
That's what
that.
I see.
I love that. No, and I say it is bitter. I think every recording that I've had now is like it's bittersweet to be here because it is,
Yeah.
right? Obviously, it's bittersweet. But one of the things that makes me proud is watching you are like. Is it great to see this? Is it great to show off the campus? Obviously, everyone knows I love getting tours of campus. I love showing off our stuff. But what I love more is seeing you all take the reins and go with it. Right.
Yeah,
and that shows me how much this came together. So with that, let me try to make a question out of this. All right, we got all these other schools. We got 100 other schools that have come here. What are you hearing as they start to experience the creative lab? As they've been to our classrooms, there was just a whole session in our classrooms. What are you hearing, and what's the feedback?
The feedback is wonderful. I have actually had some of the schools that want for us to do like a walkthrough with them. They want more information. They want to speak to like our engineers to see how they were able to put this together, and our blueprint actually, like that's what they're asking for. But they are so empowered to do something that we have brought, your vision and the team together we have built is amazing. It's all positive stuff. It's all positive.
Well, that's good because I would disown anyone who says it. Just kidding. You're like, what? What? I know I would.
It's
I'm
okay.
I'm petty like that. No. What? No, and that's what's great to hear. This is really exciting to actually be here and be at ETC. The next thing I want to turn to, let's step away from this. You've kind of become the AV Nation rock star. AV Week. We were on episode together a few weeks ago. You're doing it. Can you talk a little bit about? I remember because I hired you in as part of our digital transformation. I remember you coming in for your interview and me going, okay, she's the vision. I need her in this vision. And what you've done with it is even more than I expected. And now we're sitting here with Dr. Tatum. I mean, I didn't see that coming. I knew that you'd impact the faculty. I knew you would impact everyone. But now where you've taken it and now you're getting involved, you were a scholarship person for AV Nation, going off to Infocom, taking advantage of that. You're getting involved. Talk a little bit about your growth in this industry over the last few years.
That's a good one.
I know that's why I'm the host.
As I sit back and reflect, coming into this, when you first hired me, I was a technology teacher. And, I'm like, Joe, why am I here? Why am I here? I'm not doing what you told me I would do. But of course, when we reopened after COVID, I started doing what you hired me for. So during that process, maybe year and a half, I was able to actually learn what AV audiovisual really is. It is different from IT, which is my background, but when you join it together, it blossoms this beautiful flower in the sense that for me, I have seen myself evolve personally, professionally, in the sense of I've learned things that I did not, if I had stayed just a technology teacher, would not have learned or known about. Like, again, back to the awareness and the learning. And I started to push myself to be a self-learner.
Yeah.
So a direct self-learner, because before I was like, I want people to show me, but moving into my program and everything, I learned to just read, research, and do my own stuff.
Yeah, I love that. So I'm going to ask the doctor now then, what impact does technology really have on the learning experience?
Definitely technology is the way to go. For the learning experience, there's so many different things that we could use technology to be able to assist students for their own learning and growth. For example, we have our what they call special needs students, right? Disability student. We have all these different softwares and accessibility features and apps that we could use. When you integrate it into your lesson, it helps the student on the other end to be able to not be cognitively overloaded, but instead take their own time and process what they need to process. So I see it as beneficial on that aspect, but also I see it as flexible. You know, we could do
absolutely.
Zoom now. So some students fell in love with being on Zoom and remoting in.
Yep.
So I see it as flexibility.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And I think that's the whole idea is the world has changed and the student is now someone who really demands that flexibility. They demand the kind of on demand, right? And learning how it works best for them, which isn't the same for every student, right? Not everyone can sit and it was actually probably true before that not everyone could just sit in the classroom, watch it, you know, but we just assumed that's how education was. Like now we understand that that's different, you know? And so I love that. That's a good answer, doctor. That was great.
I just think, again, as human, we assume a lot.
Yeah.
So taking away the biases and the assumption and start to allow our learners to be able to help us, you know, as teachers as well, to evaluate how can they learn. It's their learning.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I love that. I love that. So last question and most important one, how do people connect to you?
You could connect with me at tatum8@usc.edu or on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn, Dr. Adeline Tatum. I'm on IG. I'm on
the Twitter
now.
Yeah,
the Twitter.
The X.
I had to learn that too. I'm like looking for that, couldn't find it. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. It's so good to see you, Ads. Oh my God.
Thank
she
you.
gets the huggy hug. Oh, so much.
Thank you, Joe.
So much.
You know, right. I love you.
Have a great rest of the conference.
You too, Joe. Thank you.
Hey, here we are, ETC 2023, morning number, I don't know if it's morning 2 or morning 3. They call it 2 officially, but you have to come in early and there's dinner with friends and stuff. I call that day 1. I disagree with everybody, but we're here and we are doing live interviews from ETC 2023, and we have another VIP guest with us. Please introduce yourself, tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, I'm Bobby Brooks. I'm an AV tech at the CNM Central New Mexico Community College.
I love it. So, all right. So, Bobby, listen. I saw you came on and I've seen your emails. I loved when community colleges get involved. Why is it important for a community college to come to a show like this?
It's really important so that we can represent the college community, because we're a part of the college community and experience as well. And to see what the bigger colleges are doing. I learn a lot coming into these, and I can take those things back and we can try things that we normally wouldn't be able to do.
Absolutely. And the thing is that I've always said with our vertical is that we're a community, we're colleagues, we're not competitors.
Exactly.
Right. And so when we come to events like this, it's about learning from one another. It's about finding out, like, look, we all have the same challenges. We all have the same things we're going through. The only difference, some people have more zeros behind it. Right. But it's all the same stuff.
Yes.
And so we're closing up. We're halfway through the conference. So I'm going to ask you a multi-part question, which I know I shouldn't do as this bad host, but what were you coming? What are you expecting? How has it been so far? What are you hoping to come away with?
It's a good question.
I was coming host.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of coming just to see the campus. I really wanted to see USC. I'm very excited. Definitely came in early for the first day, what you would call the first day.
It is, though.
It is. I think so. You got to come for
if you're here. If you're paying a night's hotel, you got to call it as the first day.
Exactly.
That's it.
Absolutely. So I love seeing what you guys are doing. The technology is amazing. I have some ideas of my own to do things that are a little scaled down cheaper, but I've definitely learned some things, and I'm excited to take those back to my
to your leadership.
My colleagues.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and that's the whole thing is, how do you take the information that you got here? How do you make it actionable when you go home?
Well, you think of USC as like the Cadillac, right?
Yeah.
So if I can take the Cadillac back and show them the features, maybe we can get the higher model
Toyota. It's the upgrade, right?
Yeah.
A little Carvana going on, right?
Yeah.
Shoot, right?
Yeah. So, just showing some of the functionality and saying, well, maybe we can't do it this way, but we can get some of these ideas and features into a system in another way. So
Yeah. No.
just inspiring leadership to think bigger, because sometimes we get in that mindset at the lower levels of, we can't do what the big colleges do. Sure, we can.
Absolutely. Because I mean, and I've always said this, and this is why like HETMA was founded, because the fact is we all have the same challenges, right?
Yeah.
Like, and people think, oh, well, they do this, do that. Now, was it easier for me at USC to do it when I had an initiative and this and say go, and I had an incredible boss, who I'm very glad to now work for again at UCLA. But who said, let's go challenge things. But and maybe that's the role of an R1. Let's lead the way. But we've failed as R1s if we don't then say we're leading the way, but if we don't leave a track for others to come in and adopt, we've failed. And that's where it's awesome to see you go, look, what have you done? Go back. Here's what we need to do, right? And those are the things I think that make, and that makes this vertical special, and meeting people here and doing that. So like, have you got one or two tangible takeaways when you go back?
Absolutely.
And what are those?
I really want to do esports. I'm still trying to convince.
The lab is amazing. It's my brainchild.
I really want to convince my management to start doing esports, specifically for community, to bring people in. Looking at that space, I've seen the case studies on your space. You don't get it until you actually walk through and you see the students and how they're engaging in that space. It's amazing. Yep. It's really amazing. There's something very special about it that you don't get from a white paper, Exactly. So that was my biggest takeaway so far, is actually seeing that space and seeing the students engage with it.
Yeah, and that to me is what makes it special. And most people think, oh, it's an esports. No, it's not an esports. It's there's a reason we changed it from the name from esports lab to digital creative lab. Right. And it's I love it. It's that was my mic drop.
It's one of the few examples of a multi-purpose room that I actually see working as a multi-purpose room. 100%. It's phenomenal.
100%. I love that. Yeah, it's true. It's true. All right. So final question for you here. If when you leave on Saturday, you get on the plane. Oh, well, you might drive. Did you drive? No, you're playing. Oh yeah. New Mexico. All right. Hey, so
I could have drove, but no.
All right.
I got to be back at work on Monday.
So when you get home and you reflect on the conference, what is it that you're going to say? I'm glad I came because ... fill in the blank.
There's so many. Just seeing colleagues, like you said, there's something special about this community, and the fact that we all want to help each other and bring each other up. That's why I work in this industry, is because of the people and, wanting to solve each other's problems and work together to make things better for students and make society better as a whole.
Yep, absolutely. Bobby, do one last thing. Please tell people how they can find you and connect with you if they want to continue the conversation.
I'm not on social media because I'm a weirdo. No,
LinkedIn?
Not even LinkedIn.
You're coming on the podcast, you know that, right? Okay.
So just email rbrooks30@cnm.edu.
All right.
That's how you can find me.
Thank you so much for coming on. It was great to have you. My God, so good to see you.
Thanks, Joe.
And it was great waving to you as my Uber pulled off before yours today at the hotel.
I didn't even see you. I wasn't fully caffeinated yet. So
no kidding. Well, I'm already mimosa'd, so there we go.
Nice.
All right.
Have a good one.
Much.
Thanks a lot.
Bye. And here we are, I'm calling it day 3. Everyone else calls it day 2. We are here with the EdTech podcast on avnation.tv. Wait, oh crap. Well, we kind of are. This was the only way I actually get to. I've only been on the EdTech podcast once, so I ruined it that bad. No one will ever invite me back. But we are here with our esteemed vice chair. We're at ETC. Aaron, please. Wait. My words were supposed to be introduce yourself and tell people what you do, but like literally HETMA owns this podcast, so
right.
Well, introduce yourself then.
Yes. Hello, AV friends, and welcome. It is me, Erin Marmoran. I am the vice chair of HETMA, as well as the IT manager for classroom technology at Johns Hopkins University.
And host of the
EdTech podcast. on AP Nation.
All right, so we're here. This is your first ETC.
It is. Yeah.
And all right, so we have a booth. HETMA's got a booth, so we're 2 for 2. We did InfoComm, now we're here. What are your takeaways so far?
Yeah, for my first time here, this was a great event. It's a nice program, great size. I love the tech table showcase, and I love of course, because it's higher ed focus. So it is like our people, and it's been a really, really fun time.
Yeah, and I love anytime we all get together as colleagues, it just feels right?
Absolutely.
And so we have a lot to go through because I'm gonna bury the lead and I'm gonna forget this little $6.6 million donation for a minute, and let's start with in-person board meeting. When we first arrived.
Yes.
Tell everybody about it. What did we accomplish? What was it about? All of that.
Yeah, I mean, that was the first time that pretty much the whole board has gotten together in one place to actually conduct any sort of business.
R.I.P. BC.
Right. Well, right, except for BC.
He's not really dead, just so you don't know.
He was at least there.
He was there virtually.
But yeah,
7 of 8. That's not bad.
Right. Absolutely not bad. But to sit in one room and actually be like, okay, what are the things we need to accomplish? Where are the holes currently, like in the org? Because we've got, our fingers in a whole lot of situations. And so it was wonderful to just sit down, have a focused set of time where we weren't like, oh, we only have an hour, because this is the one time.
This is what the Zoom meeting says.
Exactly. And that was like that one time during our regular work days that we could give up to kind of take care of business. So, and it was wonderful to re-examine our mission statement and to be able to really go line by line and tweak things and change things and be like, is that really what we stand for at this point? Yeah. Is this limiting to our vision? So it was like, that was fantastic. And we did spend a lot of time kind of really honing in on that.
Yeah.
But it was totally worth it because it really drove everything else that we discussed for the rest of the afternoon. But don't get me wrong, there is still plenty of business that needs to be done. I feel like every time we ticked something off, we were like, oh, but that led to 2 other things that we want to deal with, but all good things. Like it's a good problem to have.
Exactly where it's going. Like, look at how this has gone. Every time we're like, oh, we got to deal with this. We got to address with this. We got to address like most people would wish they had our problems, right? Yeah. And that was it was great. We spent half our meeting literally going through our mission statement. And I thought that was like, what was great was going, is this who we are? What is our identity? And we wordsmithed it, not for the sake of wordsmithing it, but for the sake of going, no, everything we do is going to follow this and we're going to believe in it. We're going to make sure everyone understands that. And we're going to take that to heart. And
absolutely.
That was what was awesome.
And I loved that, like, everybody contributed to it. Like, it was like just all of the little nuance things about just like getting the wording just right, because we were like, we want this to be perfect. It'll never be perfect.
Well, when I'm involved, it will be. That was quite an evil laugh. That was an evil laugh.
But and it was a really just, I think we all left that room just so energized.
Yep.
Not that we weren't already, but like that was just
100%. It was
cherry on top.
It was amazing because as I said when we were there, like our mission statement, HETMA's mission statement, our kind of quote unquote boilerplate that goes to the bottom. It was written by me 4 years ago when HETMA needed a website. I'm like, here we go, and here's this.
Yeah.
And not that it was bad.
No, I mean, and it was a great start. It was a great starting point. And it really was the basis of where it is now.
Yeah, and it got us to where we are. But the fact that we could sit down and go, okay, what is this? What are we? We've got these 1 billion initiatives now. Does it fulfill it? can we make sure that what we do, what we believe, and all the decisions we make moving forward follow that? And I think we accomplished that.
Yeah. And it's nice because we now can when these opportunities come to us, we can look to that statement and be like, does this new idea really speak to our mission? Or is it something that's just, it is great of an opportunity as it seemed, it just not fit what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, and I'm like giddy over this week. And now I've been trying to suppress the real news. Who woke up to a commercial integrator story today about a $6.6 million donation to HETMA to bring technology to schools who need it. Let's talk about that. Tell everyone if they didn't find the news by now.
Yeah. If you hadn't heard yet, Aurora Multimedia, they are donating to HETMA over $6 million worth of equipment. And they didn't even include the value of their people time, their actual man hours that is going to actually go with this.
Chuck showing up.
Essentially. So we're like, we that equipment, we're basically, look for it coming at some point soon. We, we'll have an application process and be able to really, find those schools that have the need, that are going to make use of this equipment and just change, the landscape of a university, essentially.
Yep.
And hopefully we'll be able to, with this program and with the amount of equipment we have, we're going to be able to outfit a couple of schools potentially, depending on their scale 2, 3, and
4,
scope.
5, 1,300 rooms worth of stuff.
Amazing. It's such an opportunity. I am beyond excited that we get to be part of this. We get to, we talk about the impact and the change that we want to make in higher ed AV, and this is really giving us the opportunity to do that.
Absolutely. Yes, more details to come on how it all will work. But I think when we're here at USC, everything that we did, I'm now at UCLA, you're at Johns Hopkins. We go on and we talk about, I upgraded this and I'm trying this technology. And it's easy for us who have a lot of zeros behind what we do to forget that we're the 5%.
Yeah.
Most people don't have those opportunities. They don't actually come in and go, look, I need, I would love to upgrade a room. I would love to be able to do this. And you're talking this is your normal Tuesday. And that's where, to me, a donation like this, and where we're going to bring in the HBCUs, we're going to bring in the community. We're going to find those people who go, look, I couldn't do this, but we want the best, and let's then go bless them with that, right? And I think that's where we can see real change. And the thing is, the change happens 3 steps down. The faculty, now the students. And maybe it'll be students who will never even realize it, right?
Absolutely.
But we can impact those lives. And that, to me, is that's why we do this.
Yeah.
That's why we do this.
And it's because of the privilege that we have for the universities that we work at. We take it for granted that every classroom has HDMI and wireless and all of these things that we're but that's basic. But then, I kind of almost felt like a hypocrite being on a panel at Infocom that talked about classroom AV on a budget. And then there were people sitting in that audience who were talking about that they still have VGA in their rooms. And those are the schools that this program is going to, it's going to be a game changer completely.
Yep. Absolutely.
Potentially. Yeah.
I can't wait to get more information. This is amazing to sit here with this and to break this at ETC around our people. If you're going to break news like this, you're going to break it around the people who need it, right?
Well,
not only that, I'll be honest. We're at a conference of schools that will pay for their people to come.
Yeah.
odds are
Yeah.
none of us or none of one here are going to be the ones who get it.
Correct.
It's the ones we're with the haves. It's the haves nots that will be able to be there and get that benefit, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and what is an event that HETMA is an in-person event that HETMA's at without some kind of breaking news?
I know it's like a habit, right? It's like people are gonna be like, no, we don't want them there because they're gonna like they're gonna run the storyline.
Yeah, always. There's something.
Nudge, nudge, hint, hint, educause. More breaking news coming your way. See, how about that for a teaser?
Right?
At least
Yeah.
that's only 3 weeks. I only have to keep that secret for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I got this one for like months.
Yeah. It was.
I've been good.
We're so proud of Joe.
I'm getting much better at keeping secrets.
Absolutely. Yeah. Every time something comes to the board that we have to keep hush hush, it's kind of like, all right, well, how soon is it going to till
Until Joe
Joe
has too much to drink and lets it out. The worst kept secret.
Worst kept secret.
But it is. But oh my gosh, I'm so stoked. We have the opportunity to make real change in real lives, and that's why we exist. That's why this organization has always existed. It's why we're here, and we are so happy to support organizations like ETC. We are, I guess it's not even a secret, we are going to be title sponsors of NW Met. We are going to be at Enterprise Connect. We're going to be at ISE. We're going to be like, this is where we bring our scomes. Oh my God. Like, this is where we come together. And I love seeing, have you ever seen our vertical come together like that? And like have this, we're like butter. We're butter.
Right. I love
Hashtag butter.
Hashtag butter. Like I love the like partnerships that we're creating, and we're all in it for the same thing. Like we want to make our institutions better. Like we want to be able to do all the great things, and what better, how better to illustrate that than to partner with all of these other groups that have very similarly aligned missions, and they just everybody just wants to make their institutions better, and I love being part of that. It's so exciting. Like I every time I turn around and I'm like, can we just put the brakes on a little bit? Can we just get hit, be in cruise control for a little bit? And Joe's like, nope, full steam ahead, like on to the next thing. And I'm like, can we just, and no. And I wouldn't want it any other way.
No other way. Well, but that's it. When you have an opportunity to make change, and that's what we're able to do right now, and we've been blessed as an organization to be able to do that, why would you take the pedal off the gas? Because if we do, then that means that there's someone out there that we are failing. There's a student out there. How many? Look at this. And we've said this conversation at least 4 times on our meeting on Friday, both the happy hour and the newcomers meeting. Community call, people we wouldn't have seen are there. If we take our foot off the gas, maybe there's someone else we're not going to be able to reach, but they need us. But by moving to that next initiative, now we can reach them, right?
Absolutely.
Most people can't be in our position, so I think feel like we have a duty to keep reaching out to them.
Yeah.
Even if I have these crazy ideas, and you have these crazy ideas, but
right. Well, I mean, we are the higher ed version of Steve Jobs and Wozniak. You are the visionary, and
wait, that means I die first.
I do stuff. Well, I mean,
hold on. You realize Steve Jobs is dead, right?
You're significantly older than
me. Damn. On that note, will you please tell people how they can connect with you and find EdTech and all of stuff?
I joke. My husband is 2 years younger than me, and he jokes that I am significantly older than him. So, but yes, you can find me on LinkedIn, Aramar Moran, and also I am on the Twitters, aka X, at Smirin_off_ice.
All right. Thank you all. So good to be here. And wait till your next clip, unless this was the last clip, because I don't know what order I'm putting them in. Bye-bye. All right, we are back and we are on the show floor at ETC 2023 with our incredible partners. Please introduce yourself, tell people who you are and what you do.
So thanks, Joe. Steve Bogart with Atlona. I'm business development manager for education, K through 12, all the way up through higher ed.
Awesome. So, Steve, you all have been huge proponents of HETMA and everything that we do for a long time. You're one of the first ones that have ever jumped in and said, we believe in it and we love it. Why is the higher ed vertical so important to Atlona?
Well, it's a major portion of our market, right? Education is one I believe in. I've worked in AV a long time, but education is really a passion of mine. We've got to teach that younger generation how to be professional, how to do what they're passionate about, how to live their best life. And technology allows that teaching to be delivered in a very elegant way.
Yeah, absolutely. So now you're here. We're closing up. I mean, this is the last bit of the show. What are your takeaways? What have you learned? What trends are we seeing in the higher ed vertical?
Well, I have to be proud of myself. I didn't drink too much this time, so I'm not super hungover. So that's one.
Well, that makes one of us.
That's one takeaway. It's really more about making that technology seamless. You got to start with the instructor and what they're trying to accomplish, rather than starting with the technology. So, making it where that technology just works for the instructor, where they walk in and maybe there's an occupancy sensor in the room, so the room just turns on. Or when they connect their device, it just sees their device and turns the system on. And that's what we do at Atlona.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing. You guys have always been like, it's so funny because even before I really got into the commercial integration / higher ed side, I've always said, people say, oh, Atlona, like, oh, well, the people that they connect the dots. Everything just works. Like you put this thing here and it ends up there, right? Like that's the bread and butter of what you guys do. And I think that's the reputation you have. So tell us a little bit about like what products, as if I'm a higher ed person and I'm listening to this podcast and I go, what are they like? What is it that solutions that you're bringing to us to help us be successful?
So I like to say that we don't make the computers. We don't make the displays, but we connect everything in the middle.
Yeah.
So we are the tools we are the glue that makes that AV system work. So if you need to extend a signal, if you need to route signals, that's what we do.
Yep, absolutely. And that's the thing. And that's exactly the reputation. So now, taking this away, because I always think like and maybe I'm wrong. You can disagree with me. And if you disagree, then it just means you're wrong. But if the industry has changed in the sense that when you come to a show as a manufacturer, you probably learn as much from us as we learn from you.
Absolutely. Right? It's been an interesting format this year at ETC because the seminar rooms is also the exhibit area. So initially I wasn't too fond of it, right? Because we're going to shut down for the hour, but we're really getting to be involved. Usually we're locked off in a room and wait for you guys to come back. This year it's been much more engaging. Also, as a moderator for a great seminar by UNLV for I think it was Success in the AV Desert.
Yeah.
And, what they've done out there in Vegas. So, it's great to hear those stories as to what you guys are doing, because if a manufacturer develops in a vacuum, it may not fit the needs for what the end users are needing.
Exactly. I mean, and that's the whole thing. It takes us working together as a team. So now, last question then, we're here. If I'm coming to you and I didn't know anything about you, what is it as a tech manager that I need to know to be successful in the new landscape coming?
Well, look for manufacturers that are going to partner. Look for that solution that's going to fit your needs. Don't just stick with what you've always done. Do a little research. Check out the HETMA channels to figure out what people are done and what products are approved. Ask manufacturers to send you sample gear. Make a sandbox. Let instructors use that technology and see how they interface with that technology and find out what works. What buttons are being used in classrooms. Are they just turning the classroom on? Okay. Why do we need buttons? That could just happen.
Yeah.
So, maybe you do need some highly technical classrooms, but in a generic classroom, do you need a lot of touch panel? Maybe not. Maybe you just need a keypad. Maybe you need something simple. So
Yeah, no, I love that. And that's the whole thing. It's understanding the environment, understanding the user, right? Like you're a manufacturer, I'm your customer, but I'm not the user.
right.
Right.
And neither am I.
Yeah. And understanding that and understanding what they're going through to be successful. I love that. I love that. So last question, and the most important, how do people connect with you and get more information on Atlona?
Steve Bogart at atlona.com. Steve Bogart at LinkedIn.
There you
I
go.
don't have a Twitter or some of those
he's
yet.
off the X. All right. No, and of course, just atlona.com to see all the product line.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your support of HETMA. It means a ton to us. And please, everybody, I know you're listening to this after ETC is done. So make sure you go to atlanta.com, see all the great things. Reach out to Steve for all your questions. Take care. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And we are back, ETC 2023. I think I've said that every clip, so sorry. I'm not very original, but oh my gosh, TechBox. Oh my, you're kind of like the story of the show because you're like the secret that doesn't need to be a secret. So please tell everyone who you are and what you do.
Sure. So my name is Joshua Joseph. I'm the Vice President of Sales here at TechBox. And in a nutshell, what we do is we build pre-configured, pre-built, pre-programmed, complete systems for the classroom. We make it simple. You pick your projector, pick your display, and we pretty much handle the rest, to be honest.
Yeah, you said it a lot better than I would say it. And here's the thing, Josh, like you've been a huge supporter of HETMA and all that stuff. And, and we're thankful for that. But also it's like when, our booths are right next to each other, right?
Yeah, right.
And it's funny because people come over to you, they pick up the flyer, and then they come over and like, have you seen this? Have you seen this? Like, yeah. Yeah. It's like dots connect, things just work. Like,
right.
So talk about, why is that important for our vertical and what the solutions you bring?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we kind of do what the IT industry has been doing forever, but we've kind of brought that over to AV, right? We provide you a full system. It's, the way you want it, the way you want it to work. We still work with you, but we just make it simple. We empower you as the end user in higher education to have full control of your system, not just in year 1, but year 8, without having to, always rely on the integrator or something. So
yeah,
this is a few places.
Well, and that's the thing is a lot of schools too. I mean, one of the biggest issues we always have is budget, right?
Correct.
And so a lot of times schools are going, I have to bring things in house or I have to do things on my own and all that.
Correct.
And so where are you seeing that? You have conversations with your customers, our higher ed people. What are you seeing and why is that important to be able to have things that do what you do?
Yeah, I would say kind of the conversations we've been having, it gives them more insight onto what may be not as just current, but what they maybe need to do next. So like you mentioned, budget, right? Knowing that, hey, I have TechBox for my switcher, my camera, my cabling, everything of that nature. I can keep my cabling or, next time we need to make a high flex upgrade, it's not ripping out a non-agnostic system to come, we can integrate with whatever. And the generations that we work with, our current customers, that's what they love about it is like not only the support we have, but just kind of being able to go to the next level without having to break away from everything that's already working.
Yeah, no, and I love it. And I think that's what's important because, higher ed to me is like, it's a hodgepodge. You get people like we're here at USC where I was, he's like, we can full integrated, whatever, let the cash flow.
Right.
But then you also get others to go, look, I need stuff. I want to bring high quality stuff to my customers and I don't have all the resources to buy the most expensive integrator, do all that stuff.
Right.
And the fact is you have a solution that works no matter where you are on the scale. And I love that.
Correct.
About it.
Yeah. And that's one of the folks I was talking to here, it's one guy, he has 200 classrooms and I'm like, that's perfect for us because we can fully support you and help you out and, kind of provide the full system.
So let's get to the important part of the conversation. You're in Los Angeles. What do you think of LA? You're a Texan.
I'm in Houston. I'm always jealous because of the weather mainly.
The weather, and you guys got good weather. So it's funny. I was texting people like before they're coming, like we've had awful weather all year. Sorry, it's being hosted here, and y'all, someone brought the good weather.
Yeah, I mean, our good weather right now is like 90 degrees. We finally got out of the hundreds for like 8 weeks straight. So I'll take it.
You know, it's funny. I was talking Atkins, our treasurer. He's saying the same thing. Is we're out of the hundies.
Yeah, our pool is like, oh, it's cool. It's 90 degrees now. That's how it is. So.
Yeah, you know, but you got luck. This is actually the perfect LA weather. So you got lucky. You got lucky.
Yeah.
So all right. So kind of last question ish.
For sure.
When you leave the conference and you go home on Saturday, what are you? It's a two-parter, which is a bad host asking a two-part question. But as a company, what are you taking away? Second part, what are you hoping our higher ed people take away?
It's a great question.
Yeah, I know that's what
taken away is honestly like this conference here, how close knit you guys are. I always hear it, right? The higher ed community is close knit, but to see it in real life, I love it. As far as what I hope they take away is that just being open. You know, there's other solutions outside of the big houses, and just being open to, trying something different, being open to hearing about something different. You know, we have free evaluation programs, free full system room demos that we do at no obligation. So yeah, just being open to something new and a new way of doing it in AV.
Yeah. And I think that's across the board. Like that's what I love about our vertical. And we have that feeling and that commitment to each other. So I love that. Last question, the most important question, how do people connect to you and learn more about TechBox?
For sure. Definitely, of course, the website, www.techbox.com. Email Joshua, JOSHUA @techbox.com. That'll be the easiest way.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, Joe.
Thank you for your support of HETMA and the higher ed vertical.
Appreciate you.
Take care.
Appreciate it.
All right, we are back. We are live at ETC 2023, and we have the one and only Tony from Liberty.
Hey, everybody.
Please tell people who you are and what you do.
Hi, thanks, Joe. Tony Carr, Liberty AV Solutions. I'm the Director of Strategic Accounts, and one of our main verticals is higher education. And we're here to learn more about higher education, the needs of higher education, and how we could bring our products and services and solutions to better help the educational community.
I love it. You said something just now. You're here to learn, but wait, we're here to learn from you. What does a manufacturer get out of showing up at a show like this?
Well, because we're exposed to many different universities and colleges, it gives us the opportunity to learn about small, medium, large applications, what their needs are, and everybody does AV differently. So our solutions have to have functionality and modular ability to be designed for those specific small, medium, and large universities. Yeah. Plus, you're usually at the leading edge of the educational requirements. So that helps us take that information back and share it with our product planning teams.
Yeah. So how does that one of the things I've always said about higher ed is, and I know this is like everyone who's listening to this podcast, you now heard me say it 5 times, that we're collaborators, we're colleagues, we're not competitors. And especially working with our manufacturers, building that relationship and molding that together. Why is that important, building that? Like, why? Because here's the thing. You don't sell to me. You sell to an integrator in the middle. Right. So why are you here talking to me? Like, why is that relationship important?
It's extremely important because sometimes the integrators have a different idea of what's good for the university, where we want to be agnostic to the university and provide solutions and carry your message not only to our team, but to the integrators teams and say, hey, let's collaborate. Let's all collaborate together to provide the best solution for the educational community. And many times it's not our solution, but there are other ones out there, and we're happy to share those other solutions with different colleges where we don't fit, because we can't fit everywhere.
Yeah. Well, but wait, you can't fit everywhere?
That's the reality. We can't be everything to everyone. And when we can't, we'll let you know that.
See, that's rare to hear. No. So, all right. So now, if I'm a customer, what is it? Because you see trends, you see
Yeah.
what's going on. What are the trends that I need to be aware of in the higher ed vertical?
Well, the adoption now between remote diagnostics and not just diagnostics, but remediation to keep the teams up, your rooms up, regardless of what type of room it is. And keep, when I say your team, keep your team behind the service desk as opposed to on a bicycle or running to a room. Now we offer solutions that allow you to remediate remotely, as well as share information with different departments that might be help usage, for example. Just different variables that can be put to good use to ensure that your ROI, and especially the students too, because you have your different constituents, your student constituent, the faculty, the leadership, and there's different sets of information that most companies, or excuse me, most universities and colleges want to share with different people to satisfy their needs.
Yeah, I love that. It kind of leads me to like the question I was thinking while you were answering was like, how does so? Because I know a lot of we're at a show, we're at a trade show, but we're at a trade show that costs money to come to, and a lot of our listeners and a lot of the members of HETMA too, people who don't have the money to come and talk to you. What are the questions that they should be asking but they're not asking?
That's a really good question. I'm gonna have to pause for a moment and give it some thought. What they what they should be doing is they should be talking to their fellow HETMA and ETC members, find out what they're doing, and then sharing that, looking at their own planning for the next 3, 5, 10 years, and designing programs and solutions internally in their wants and needs list. And you have your wants, you have your needs. You need certain things. You may want something to be able to enhance the overall performance of the university in communicating, but you don't always have that. So I guess prioritizing, talking to different partners about what should I prioritize in my AV? Is it lecture capture? Is it distribution over AV over IP? Is it point to point? I mean, is it microphones, for example? What do we need? Is it lighting? So it's just communicating, I think.
I love that. And I think that's the beauty of our vertical is the fact that we do communicate, but keep continue the conversation going up and down the vertical from manufacturer to one another to integrator. And I love that. Most important question of this interview, how do people connect to you? How do they learn more about Liberty?
They can reach me at Tony Carr, TonyCarr at LIBAV, or call me 951-733-5868.
Awesome.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for your support of higher ed and HETMA completely.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And we are back. I've said that every recording clip, so I'm sorry, everybody. You have to hear that. This is a special moment for me because Crestron has been a huge supporter from day one of everything that HETMA and Higher Ed AV has done. And it's amazing to have you here. With no further ado, let's pretend people don't know who you are and what you do.
Sure.
And please introduce yourself.
Okay, I could do that. Jordan Scales. I am the higher education rep for Arizona, Nevada, but we're one Crestron, so I'm friends to all the higher education folks within this realm, east, west, north, south. Love you guys.
I never heard of Crestron. What is that company?
Oh man, we're this little company out of New Jersey. Started in a garage about 50 years ago. We make cool boxes, and all those cool boxes integrate together to help people do things easily, I guess you could say. So we're a manufacturer of hardware, but it's more of an ecosystem platform, one could say. NBX, DM, XIO Cloud, AV Framework. I mean, soup to nuts. Most people in this realm have heard of us. Some people love us. Some people are annoyed by us because we are everywhere.
Most people say that about me. They love me and hate me because they can't escape me.
Right.
When you try to get away, I just go in your face.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, obviously we are here at ETC at USC. And those who kind of walk the campus and see what's going on, we're a full, I mean, the core of
Yeah.
the system here is Crestron Flex, VC4, XIO Cloud, NVX,
Yeah.
whatever else y'all have, all
Yeah.
AV over IP. You guys, obviously, people know you because of those things. But, you know, and also they know you, DMPS, all these things.
Correct.
Here, we're fully, like I've always said, give me a server, give me software, give me the cloud, and that's what I want.
Yeah.
But where is the, like, am I the outlier, or is the industry in higher ed actually moving that way? Are we still, I want 9 black boxes in a rack?
You know, it's interesting because it just depends on the way the school is configured and on an IT and AV basis, right? Some schools don't really talk well with the IT department, and it makes it difficult because they would rather say, hey, IT, give me a network drop. We'll take it from here. We do not want to really integrate our stuff with them. And a black box makes more sense. They keep the network segmented. We have solutions for that, which makes stuff easier for them. But more advanced schools that are able to communicate well and rally a lot of different troops, such as yourself, they can do these more advanced solutions like VC4 and take it to the next level. And it was pretty amazing that you've seen this ahead of time because you were involved in the VC4 thing before the VC4 thing, before anybody really knew about it. You said the server-based architecture is the way to go. XIO Cloud is the way to go. And there's so many schools that are wanting to go down that path, and it's a path that you do got to discuss with us. Is, you know, we have to help you along that path, and we have to help explain how this all works to the other people that don't talk AV, right? And that's the key, is getting all these other non-AV folks within the institution to understand the value of this and get get more people on board to help you guys get it figured out. It's not for everybody right now, but it's obvious that this is the direction. There's so much of the school that's on a server. There's so much of the school that runs out of the network infrastructure, and it's a way better way to manage it. You should know that by now. And you are the test bed, one could say, for us, and it's wonderful to see that things are working out well. So we kind of have a test bed of success, and you have gone through some hurdles, obviously. I mean, there's no technology that you could just say, here, open the box and press the red button. You got to do some things to get it to where it needs to be. And you've been an amazing partner just in the sense that you brought some ideas to us that have become part of our product, right?
Oh, you mean hacking a Crestron Flex and putting IMX room on it?
That thing. Yes.
That
thing was pretty amazing. And now that's something we support.
You support it.
We support it. And it was, when I heard that you did that, I got giddy because I'm like, dude, he's doing the cool stuff, man. This was an idea I had. Why software DSP? Why not do that? You know, and I see as the evolution comes, there's going to be more software that's integrated in with our boxes and with our ecosystem. Crestron is known for being the guys that can control everything. So we should have more stuff that goes along that realm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No. I love the comment. Like I'm getting giddy because this is like my closure time here. Passing it on.
Yeah.
So then a question. So you're sitting here. You got prime real estate in the main room.
We do.
What are your customers coming up and asking? What are the things that they want to know? And what are those answers that you're trying? What's the story you're trying to portray to them?
They're asking questions about One Beyond and our intelligent video and that line of video products, because there is more of a push for equity between not only what you're seeing on what you're doing in the classroom, right? Technology in the classroom is definitely something we all must have. We know that now.
Yeah.
But the technology in the classroom needs to extend beyond the classroom now.
Yeah.
And needs to be able, hop on a computer, pull up a screen, and how integrated is that experience and how equitable is that experience? And they're trying to figure out where's that balance.
Yeah.
Do we want 20 cameras in the classroom? Can we afford that? No. right? We can't afford that. So how do we find that even balance? And we're still trying to figure that out with our customers as well, because yeah, we could throw 12 cameras in a classroom and give you the most equitable experience from the far end that you could ever imagine. How duplicatable is that over and over and over again with small budgets that are constantly falling apart at times? I mean, we all know how that goes. But they're liking our Air Media product, because that's a solution that cuts the cost very minimally. I have some schools that are saying, hey, give me an Air Media with the HDMI input, and that's all I need in a classroom. I got one room PC, and then they can wirelessly present audio out to an amplifier. Let's just call that a day. Let's keep it simple, and it keeps my budgets nice and low. It's a lot of customers are just trying to find that balance right now, it seems, because budgets are definitely getting reeled in.
Money's no object when you have none.
Yeah, exactly. Ain't that right? Tell my wife that.
I know. It's been good hanging out. So last question, the important stuff. What's your favorite part of LA? We've been hanging out. We had some good drinky drinks last night.
We did have some drinky drinks last night. I feel very guilty as I woke up today. I can't believe you're able to do all this. When you told me, oh man, you got to get on the microphone, I was telling Frank, oh my gosh, I do not want to do this right now. I'm still feeling last night.
But that's why we hang out together.
That is why we hang out. It was a good time. I would probably say the bar we went to last night was probably
speakeasy in the back.
The speakeasy was pretty rad.
But it was not speaking easy. You had to scream like crap to talk to each other.
I don't know if you could hear the
raspiness.
Yeah.
Everyone listening to the podcast be like, wait, is Joe's?
Did he swallow a frog? Yeah.
No, John, it's been amazing.
Thank you.
Can you do one quick favor? Please tell people how they can connect to you. How can they learn more about Crestron?
So you can find me, either email me at jscales@crestron.com. Come to crestron.com, and there's plenty to see. I think crestron.com/education will take you right to a very nice portal. A lot of different realms that you can dive into from there. And I'm also on LinkedIn. Just type in Jordan Scales, look for the guy with the weird haircut, pointy. It's me with a bow tie.
And of course, go to hireatav.com and just search Crestron, and you're going to see all the great case studies that they do. They post them every month. So always stay up to date with all of that.
Yeah. And talk to your Crestron rep. If there's anything you ever need, we are the guys that help get you guys connected and more intertwined to where you're not left alone trying to figure out where do you go from here? Because Crestron is a big ecosystem, 5,000 products. So don't go in at it alone. Use us. We love it.
Oh, he said the word ecosystem. Take a drink. Oh, good to see you.
You too, brother.
I knocked my mics over. All right.
Take care, everybody.